Hi, I'm Tanmay Mehta and this is Scales and Stage Weekly Law Review. The Supreme Court on June 12 ordered that the private establishments, industries, employers who are willing to enter into negotiations and settlements with the workers or employees regarding payment of wages for 50 days for any other period as applicable in any particular state during which their industrial establishment was closed down due to lockdown may initiate a process of negotiation with their employees organization and enter into a settlement with them, and if they are unable to settle by themselves, submit a report to concerned labor authorities who are entrusted with the obligation under different statutes to conciliate the dispute between parties who on receiving such request may call the concerned employee trade union / worker association or workers to appear on a date for negotiations, conciliation and settlement. Further, the private establishment industries factories shall permit workers or employees to work in their establishment who are willing to work, which may be without prejudice to the rights of the workers / employees regarding unpaid wages of above 50 days. The private establishments, factories who proceeded to take steps as per the directions were asked to publicize and communicate about the such steps to workers and employees for their response or participation. The central government, all the states and union territories through their Ministry of Labour were also asked to circulate and publicize this order for the benefit of all private establishment, employers, factories and workers and employees. In a suo motu case, the Supreme Court on June 12 directed the state government to increase the number of COVID-19 testing so as to ascertain the affected population and provide them with adequate treatment. The remarks were made after the bench noted that has been a sharp decline in the number of testing of COVID-19 patients, especially in Delhi. The bench has also issued notices to the governments of NCT of Delhi, Maharashtra, West Bengal and Tamil Nadu over management of COVID-19 situation. The Supreme Court, while observing that it was the state government and not the court which could decide how liquor could be sold, allowed the government of Tamil Nadu to devise methods to sell liquor online or via physical sales. The Supreme Court on June 11 came down heavily on a social worker who had filed a plea seeking ban and prohibition on the sale and use of Coca-Cola, Thums Up and other soft drinks, citing health concerns on their consumption. The court noted that the recourse of Article 32 taken in the instant plea did not stronghold with bona fides requisite in a public interest litigation. In light of this, the court justified that the imposition of exemplary costs became necessary, which were quantified at Rs 5 lakh on the petitioner. Questioning the rationale of the Ministry of Home Affairs allowing the reopening of religious places of worship with effect from June 8, a public interest litigation has been filed in the Calcutta High Court. Filed by lawyer Priyanka Tebrewal, the petition stated that decision is unnecessary, arbitrary and against the maintenance of public order and health. After taking suo motu cognizance of the matter, the Delhi High Court has directed the North DMC to disburse salaries of resident doctors of Kasturba Hospital and Hindu Rao Hospital, which have been pending since March 2020. The Karnataka government on Friday told that the High Court of Karnataka that it has withdrawn the notification dated May 22, by which the provisions of Factories Act 1948 governing the working hours of workers were suspended. A division bench headed by Chief Justice A.S. Oka had observed on the previous date that notification cannot be sustained on the basis of Section 5 of Factories Act, which gives state power to relax the provision in the event of public emergency. The bench had noted that the state government itself admitted that the economic crisis caused by lockdown was not a public emergency as per Section 5. A division bench comprising of Justice Sandeep Mehta and Dr. Justice Pushpendra Singh Bhati of the Rajasthan High Court has held that the right of a child rape victim to make a reproductive choice of terminating the fetus heavily outweighs the right of the child in womb to be born, even where the pregnancy is at an advanced stage. Where pregnancy is caused by rape, the anguish caused by such pregnancy would be deemed to constitute a grave injury to the mental health of the pregnant woman, the court observed. At times, some inconveniences may be suffered by the individuals for common good and welfare of the public at large, and that cannot be termed as violative of any fundamental rights guaranteed to the citizen, the Kerala High Court has observed. The pre-trial detention of Safura Zargar does not appear to meet the standards of international law, including treaties to which India is a state party, said the Center for Human Rights of American Bar Association. International law, including treaties to which India is a state party, only permit pre-trial detention under narrow circumstances, which do not appear to have been met in Ms. Zargar's case. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights states that it should not be the general rule that persons awaiting trial shall be detained in custody, commented the Center on the Custody of Zargar since April 10.